Hello guys, welcome back to another Android application development tutorial. In this episode, we are going to learn about how to get multiple language support for your Android application. So here I am going to create an Android application that will support two languages. The first one is the English and second one is the Hindi language. So the first thing I have to check whether the Hindi language is supported by the Android operating system. That is the first condition. The language must be supported by the Android operating system. So open your browser and check uh, Android supporting languages. You will get the language list from the developer console. Go to the developer console website. Yeah, here is the list is available. This is the list of the supported language by Android. So I have to check whether the Hindi language is available in this list. So here it is. The Hindi language is now supported by Android operating system. And here is the language code for Hindi language. It is HI. Okay. So create a new Android Studio project. First we have to set up the GUI. Go to the XML version. Change this one into linear layout. Close the linear layout. First I have to add a text view for displaying a greeting message for the user. So here I am going to add a text view. Okay, here I added text view. Also I have to change the orientation into vertical. Okay, so here I added text view. Now I have to specify some message on the text view. So Android text and specify it from the strings.xml file, and I name it as greeting message. Now I have to add this resource in the strings.xml file. So open up the values folder and open up the strings.xml file and add a new string resource with name greeting message and specify some message. Welcome all. Okay. So now we have a text view available on the layout that will show some greeting message. Now here I am going to add a edit text. I am going to add an edit text and a button. So I have to add a relative layout here. Okay, here I add a relative layout and I add an edit text and a button to the relative layout. Now I have to specify some hint for the edit text. So Android hint, also referred it from the strings.xml file. Name it as hint message. Now we have to add this one into the strings.xml file. So open up the strings.xml file and add a new string resource. Name it as hint message and specify the value as enter your name. Okay. Now we have to specify some label for the button. So Android text, also referred it from the strings.xml file, and name it as button label. Now we have to add the strings resource in the strings.xml file. Name it as button label. And specify the value as submit. Okay, now here we have a welcome message and an edit text that contains some greeting message, some hint and a button with a label. Now I need one more text view to display the current language. Okay, now here I add another text view after the button. Now here I have to specify some text for the text view. So this text view will display the current language name, Android text. Referred it from the strings.xml file. And name it as selected language, and add this one into the strings.xml file. Add a new string resource, name it as selected language. So now the default language is English, so I specify the value as English. So now here we have a greeting message, an edit text that contain a hint, a button with a label. Also we have a text view that will display the selected language. Okay, so now we have to add the Hindi language support for this application. So I have to create another strings.xml file that contain the Hindi language resources. So right click the values folder and create a new values resource file. Before going to create that one, here is the Hindi language. We have to find out the language code for Hindi language. HI is the language code for Hindi language. Here it is. HI is the language code. Okay. So here we have to create a new resource file. I name it as string.xml. Strings.xml. And here I have to put some changes on the directory name. So after values, put a hyphen and specify the local language code. So here the language is Hindi, so I specify it as HI and click OK. Now in values folder we have two strings.xml file. Now you can see the flag corresponding to the language. This is the Indian flag. Okay, so now we have to add all the strings resource into the newly created strings.xml file. So I copy all these strings resources. And add it here. Okay, now we have to change if each of these resources into Hindi language. Okay, so first we have to change the greeting message. I copy this greeting message, open browser, we can use the Google Translator. Open up Google Translate. Now paste the message here, welcome all. Now change this one into Hindi. Yeah, this is the Hindi language corresponding to welcome all in English. So I copy this one and paste it here. Okay, now enter your name, copy this one. Now copy the corresponding Hindi and paste it here. Now submit and paste it here. Copy the corresponding Hindi translation and change the language name into Hindi. Okay, so now we have the Hindi language support. Now we can check the application on a virtual device. Now here I am going to run this application on a virtual device. Okay, now here the application is available on a virtual device. Now all the informations are shown in English. So the Android system will select the language resource based on the current language of the device. Now this current language for this device is English, so all the informations are shown in English. English is the default language selection for an Android application. So now I have to display all this information in Hindi language. So the first thing, I have to change the local language, that means the current language of the device, into Hindi. So go to the device settings. Go to the settings. Go to language and input option. Now select the language option. Now you have to search for the needed language. Here I need to change this one into Hindi. So I have to check whether Hindi is available for this device. I think this device does not support Hindi language. Yeah, here it is. Hindi. I select the language. Now the current language for the device is Hindi. Now I am going to run the application again. Now here I am going to run this application again on the same device. Okay, now here the application is again available on the same virtual device. Now you can see all the informations are available in Hindi language. So this is how we make the application to support multiple languages. So you have to add the needed strings.xml file in the values folder. So the Android system will choose the needed resource based on the language selection of the device. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel for getting more video updates on Android.